meeting to order. I'd like to pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, tonight we have a lot of minutes to go over. We have some other items. I would like to put the minutes off to the end and deal with people who are here to speak so that they don't get tangled up.
No problem.
So I'd start with Felix, and I'm sorry I don't know your last name.
Lomboro.
And you're interested in talking about 179 Main Street,
Yes.
the white building. So I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on the agenda today. So the white building, I came about it. I own the building right next to it. Actually, so 179 is the building I own, and the building right next to it is the abandoned building, right? So I was just trying to do some work in my own property, and Marty, the highway superintendent, happened to be around the building. Him and I started talking, and I asked him what the story was with the building, and he said it's been abandoned for a while. So him and I kind of walked in toward the building, told him, I'd be interested to see what the town would be willing to do with the building. So I'm here proposing, or just first of all introducing myself, that you guys know who I am, but also letting you know that we are interested in pursuing that white building as some form of housing, whether that would be some condos, whether that would be some apartments. That's what our interest is. I think Eric, we had met in the summer, like late summer, my wife and I met with you.
Yeah.
And at the time, there was maybe some discussions going on with the Page building, and we thought there were title issues that would affect all of the buildings. So we kind of put everything on hold. Now it sounds like the Page has kind of been sorted out, so I'm not sure where that building stands in terms of that. But I really just wanted to put out what my suggestion is, and see if it's something I think town could benefit from, having a building like that renovated, fixed up, being put back to use. When I looked at it with Marty, it looked like it was in decent shape on the inside, given it's been left for 12 years with no use. So yeah, I just want to get the RFP going, or get a discussion of how we can find mutual agreement to make that building back, or put that building back to use.
Well, I think we're getting close to the RFP stage with this building and another that we'll be talking about tonight. So this is a good time that you came up with us again.
Yeah.
Would you like to ask any questions, sirs?
And when you say we, it's just you and your wife, or is it a group of people?
No, just my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, just my wife.
I don't have any questions at this point. I mean, condo, like, what are you kind of considering? Is it going to be low-income housing, elderly housing, or just housing?
Just housing. We weren't really considering low income.
Okay.
We were just going to make it housing.
Mm-hmm.
Initial thought was about just looking at the footprint
Mm-hmm.
and having my engineers look at the building and the architecture, the layout, the square footage, about 14 apartments,
Mm-hmm.
10 to 14 apartments. Or we could also do some condominium style housing as well, where there's bigger, more units, like more bedrooms, but fewer units. But that was, yeah, that was my initial thought.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeff? Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Where are you gonna put the 14 apartments?
Same footprint of the building.
Same footprint of the building?
Got the whole building and fit the 14 apartments in there. So obviously this is just hypothetically what I envision doing, right?
Okay. All
So,
right. How many square feet are each one of those apartments going to be?
900, roughly 900 to 1,000.
Okay.
Well,
Are you aware of the fact that it is a historic building?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you gonna do to preserve the historic?
So that's where I want to work with the town, right? This is just the very beginning. I haven't even done a lot to look into that part of it. This is just at the very beginning. I first want to see.
Are you aware of the fact that it's in a historic district?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So
That will affect what you can do on the outside of the building.
I'm not even looking to. My plan is not to change the outside of the building, right? I don't plan to make this some modern looking like building, right? I'm trying to preserve as much of the building as I can. I've done projects where we've tried to rehabilitate. I mean, we've met with the historical community. They've come looked at the building.
Well, I'm not on the historic commission, that's why I'm asking.
Right, so I've met with people like you, who've come on site, looked at a building, gone through the viability of either saving it, proposing, in some situations, the building is so far gone that it has to be torn down, but we look for things we can preserve. What can we preserve that we can put back in the building? I don't think this building is anywhere close
It's
to
not,
that.
it's not.
Right,
It's
so
not a
I wouldn't be looking to make drastic modifications to what's already there. It's more what's inside.
Are you talking one-bedroom apartments?
So there was a consideration of majority 2 bedrooms.
Two bedrooms and 900 square feet?
2 bedrooms would be at 1,000 square feet.
1,000 square feet.
Right. And then the 1 bedrooms would be more like the 800 square foot range.
You're aware of the fact that under that amount of apartments, that a certain percentage of them have to be kept as low income by the feds? Have rules and regulations?
So, yeah, I don't know where the threshold of the town is. I don't know how much low income the town has, if they've met the threshold of what's
Well,
required.
Hardwick is considered a low income town.
Yeah.
So when you do housing, according to the feds, there's a certain amount you have to put aside for low income, correct? Gentlemen?
There'll be, I'm sure that Felix is gonna run into all sorts of wrinkles with this plan.
It's, like he said, it's the beginning stages.
Yeah.
It's preliminary.
Mhm.
So-
Exactly.
We haven't even got an RFP
Oh,
already.
I understand that.
It's-
I
This is
understand
very
that.
good
I'm
himself
asking-
saying he's
Thank you.
interested.
Thank you.
I'm asking him questions that he may or may not know, so that he can make informed decisions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you. Nice to meet
Bill
you.
has,
Oh,
Oh.
Bill has a problem.
Just briefly, thank
Planning
you.
board.
Would you kindly spell your last name, Felix, and have you done something like this before?
So I've not done something of this magnitude before, but I have done something similar, smaller. My last name is W-A, M like Mary, B like boy, U-R-U.
Where's your home?
I live in Southborough, Mass.
And that's Bill Cole, he's chair of the planning board.
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay. I just figured.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
We got some heavy hitters in the room.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm used to it.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
so after tonight, or whatever direction that the board chooses, I can let Felix know and whoever might be interested, if that's,
Yep.
sounds good to you.
Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Should we just go right across to discussion on Ruggles Hill Street School?
no reason why you couldn't.
Did you get an email from Gemma Cashman?
Mr. Chair,
Yep, I responded.
do you
Okay.
wanna take the lead here, per se?
Take the lead. Well, I assumed that Liz was interested in talking about it, or...
The situation is that it's basically, as we well know, there's a restriction on the deed, and the Mixter family is interested and wants to do the exact same thing they did with the Page building, is to take it back and then transfer it to a nonprofit.
You're sure of that?
I'm sure of that.
Okay.
Okay, it's just a matter of, you know, everybody's crossing their T's to make sure that if, you know, we put in this amount of time and effort, that this will come to pass, because the mixers don't want to spend astronomical amounts of money, and neither do I.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, in your packet is a correspondence from town council regarding the deed.
Yeah, go ahead and read it. What's it say?
Pretty, yeah, if you want me to mention, it basically says that, their right to revert the property is expired. It's kind of like the Page building, but it's on the deed.
And the
You know what
deed
I
is in
mean?
your packet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had the same exact language on the page, and then we ran into, we couldn't get around it, we had to give it back to the next person.
Right.
So, but the attorney's saying that their right of that has expired. Whether it has or hasn't, I don't know, it was mentioned.
Reduced to sound like
If
that.
I remember correctly, that's the exact same thing you said on the Page, correct?
Correct. So, we start an RFP, we'll find out pretty quick
Yeah,
if that's the case.
right, and we don't want to spend a whole lot of money on legal on this,
No.
No,
at all.
spent a little,
Like,
quite a bit on the Page building.
well, that's what I mean, all to find out that we had to give the building
Yeah.
back, so.
Right. So we make sure that the title is clear and as you say, and we need to sit and think of how to put, what to put in the RFP.
So I guess tonight, or if you could tell me which one you want to do first, because if it's 179 or if it's Ruggles, just some direction from the board, and I can draft something and I can have you guys look at it at the next meeting. But I just need to know which one, because I can't do both. I'm already working on the IT one.
So the title is clear on 179.
Yep, Katie, Attorney Klein had,
Right,
I saw
that
that.
was a school in the town and it hasn't moved, so.
Right, that property's been clear for a while.
See ya. So, should we proceed that way? Come up with 2 RFPs before our next meeting?
I can't do both of them at your next meeting because I have to do the IT one, but I can do one of them for your next meeting. A draft, yeah.
Well, let's do the Ruggles Hill Road School. And we have to contact DEP. We have to know that we're clear there.
Right, because of the well.
I you know, in what I've done in research, you can basically piggyback off of everything you did on the Page without spending any astronomical amounts of money, as long as the board agrees to do that and votes in favor of doing that.
But we still have to get the okay from DEP that it's a legal lot for us to develop. We're too close to the well.
Well, do you want information on that?
Sure.
Because I did that research back 10 years ago.
Does it still hold, you think?
What the situation is, according to DEP, is that they don't care, all right? And correct me if I'm wrong, the tax maps cut your well out. The survey from 2014 does not cut the well out, okay? Was there a survey done after 2014? Justine, was there one done in the last couple of years on all of the buildings?
We use Gary Lampert, I don't think so.
Okay, well, from 2014, it's a dotted line cutting out the well block. When I talked to DEP, they said there's a setback, okay? At this particular point, when you go by their rules and their regulations, 150 feet, if I recall. That goes about a foot into the corner of one of the building. When I talked to DEP, they said that well, who wants the building? Okay, and I explained to them what we were gonna do. He says, what is gonna take place on that side? I said, it's only gonna be gardens. He says, would you like me to take the setback out of the building? I said, well, it would be helpful when I paint the building so I don't have to ask you for permission. Okay, so DEP said as long as the building was going to sit, because it still was in the zone, as long as it wasn't gonna be a auto repair facility. It wasn't gonna do any of the things that they prohibit in their zone. And it was basically going to stay within the same general makeup what that building's always been, which is a school, because we're gonna do educational things out of there. They were perfectly fine with pulling the setback out. They, you know, in my opinion, and I don't think that the mixters care at this point, my nonprofit is ultimately gonna get that building. I am more than happy to argue with DEP down the line, because I don't think it's going to be an argument. And that the town does not have to go through whatever they have to do to get that setback pulled out, like 5 feet or 10 feet. But that is the situation. It's just a matter of because it's in the water situation. But I'm gonna be in the same situation. I'm gonna be planting like blueberries and peaches there and doing organic farming and gardening in that area. So I don't want any problems either, and that's only gonna help the wells.
Right. Still, I'd like to, I think we should investigate a little bit with DEP and make sure what still goes, what you just explained.
And I remember Justine saying something at one of these situations that she had talked to DEP and they were willing to pull the setback out of the building.
It's still.
We have to, I'm sorry,
Well,
Mr.
we'll
Chair.
do that. We'll call him, I'll call him, and we'll talk to him.
Do you mind if I just piggyback on this real quick?
Sure.
So any sort of disposition of property, any sort of real estate transaction, we need to have our town council involved. You know, that's, you know, why we have them to, you know,
Right.
advocate for us on our behalf, like they work for us.
So you're suggesting we get our town council to talk to DEP?
No, I'm suggesting that we do our due diligence as a town. I have contacts with them, just dealing with them on the sewer project side of it. But I highly recommend that we follow the advice this time from our town council. I mean, they do this for over 200 towns in the Commonwealth. You know, reading these correspondences, I think the board should take them seriously.
Well, we did take them seriously for the Page building. We spent about, $6,500 in legal only to give up the Page building.
But that
back
was
to
a
the
decision by
Mixer
the
Trust.
board. That was not the recommendation of town council,
Or
that was a
or
decision
go
by
to
the board.
court, or to go to court and fight this decision.
Right,
That was the option.
right. We
Back
didn't
then.
know that we had trouble until we got into it.
So I'm just saying, we already know our legal bills,
Yes.
Yep,
right? I mean, and I get it, we want to take the legal advice, but we can read the deed. If that restriction's on the deed, what do we do?
then it's just like the Page building.
Right, so I would, you know, I'd recommend that you actually reach out to the Mixter Trust and say, because ultimately, we're only gonna give it to them. And what they do with that property is the same like they chose to do with the Page building. You know, because once we give it to the Mixter Trust, that's it. The town's
Towns.
done with it.
No
We can't say,
obligation
oh, pass
after
it
that.
on to this person, or pass it on to that. We lose all control over it, but we give it to them because it's on the deed.
Well, let's see the deed.
Right.
Okay.
We'll review it.
It's in your packet.
Okay.
All right. You want to block together an RFP
I can work on one. I'll draft
for
something for
that
your next
building
meeting.
before our next meeting?
Yeah.
And then we'll know what we're talking about.
This was my question though, sir, on the RFP. If we can't sell the building, we can only give it to the Mixter Trust.
Well, if that's the way the deed is written.
Right.
Right.
So then why do an RFP? You know what I mean? We should read the deed and have town council, or, you know, we read it and say, is it the same language? Are we gonna have to give this back to the Mixter Trust?
Well, that's the thing.
Why do the, or
Because if we, why do an
Yeah,
RFP
why
if we
why
have
do
no
the
control?
RFP if we're only gonna end up in the same position again?
So what do you wanna do now?
Read the deed and figure it out. And
In my opinion, you know, with all due respect, Liz, we should be looking at the 179 Main Street RFP. Because that's clear, it's cleared title, we own the building. We should get our ducks more in a row, figure out what we want to do with the Ruggles School.
I think that's a good idea.
Well, we can reach out to DEP, we can reach out to the Mixter Trust, and we can read the deed. And if we have any questions, we can run it by town council.
We don't need to waste our
Right, resource of doing an
resources to
RFP.
do an RFP that might not do anything.
That's-
All right, so we make some calls, we read the deed, we
Yeah,
talk about it at our next meeting and decide which way we're gonna jump.
exactly.
So don't work on something prepared
We'll
for your
work
next
on
meeting.
nothing.
Okay.
Just the Ruggles, not the Ruggles Hill School, but 179 Main Street.
So
You're
you
gonna
do
put-
want
Yeah.
a draft of that one? Okay, I
Yes.
just want to make sure I understand
Yes,
where,
yep.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, don't write up an RFP for the Ruggles
Okay.
Hill School.
Mr. Chair, do you mind if I ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Bill, if you want, I can set up a call with town council if you want to talk to them about Ruggles in the meantime too, like, if you want to get more comfortable and get your head wrapped around what they're saying, I absolutely don't mind doing that. You just have to let me know.
Okay. I mean, I'll look at the deed and everything.
Good.
I'd like to go through it too.
Right.
I haven't had a
The
chance.
least we can call town council at this point, the better.
Right.
Yeah,
That's all.
Well, there are gonna be
Nothing
some
against them,
questions
but-
we're gonna have
right.
to ask.
Right, but
They-
they're clear,
If we
They cost
have-
money.
Right, right.
clear, concise questions.
yes.
Bill,
Thank you. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think that with the Page building, the deed clearly said, the mixers have the right to buy it for $1.
correct.
And there was the question, well, did that expire or not? And I think our town council said that's expired, but I think the buyers, the Friends of the Page, their attorney or title company or something said, no, we won't accept that. You won't be able to accomplish this unless the mixers, unless it goes through their right of first refusal to take it for the $1 and then donate. So they did that. I don't think there was a mixer trust until that need arose, so they created it among the living beneficiaries or whatever, and then transferred it in that fashion. So one question would be, and I guess here you've already looked at the deed, is the language exactly the same? If it is, then it seems like that one of the next questions would be, does the buyer, whoever that is, are they able to take the property or to buy the property without the concern that the Friends of the Page have? In other words, does it have to go through the mixers at all? Because I don't think the mixers would have cared if it wasn't the opinion of the buyers that it had to go that route. So anyway, maybe you do need that. If it gets down to the RFP stage, I would just have this question. Liz has mentioned how things in the historic district or historic buildings need to be mentioned. So in any RFP about either of these properties, I guess that would be part of it. Sort of do your own diligence, but recognize that it's in an historic district. I don't think, I may be wrong about this, but I don't think that there is any requirement to have subsidized housing provided in a development. It doesn't have to be. We have essentially none of that in town, and we can continue that way. It puts us at risk for some other kinds of expedited developments, that could come our way. But if people know that, and they're looking at an RFP, then I think that they could do their own diligence from there and maybe come up with an idea.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Basically, I understand, that you have to do the due diligence. The deed says that if the building is not being used by the town, it has to go back to the heirs. And the heirs being the same people that go, trickle down to the Mixter Trust, okay? And if this going to be going this way, you spend $6,500 on the page, why would you spend anything to fight something that is going to be, kind of a losing battle in some ways, because,
Well, it was triggered by an offer, or we were in the process of trying to sell it, and found out that that was not the way to go. So, at this point,
well, I think,
we have to trigger
that
it
most
somehow.
people will look at, a lot of people would look at that deed from the Mixters, and it would raise the same red flags, okay? My nonprofit is not raising the red flags, okay? Because we're not going to mess with the building or anything like that, okay? And,
Now, wait, you're planning to get a hold of this building
Right.
and
We're
fix
gonna-
it,
yeah, we're gonna fix it back to where, it's gonna look just like it did before.
renovate it, and
Mhm.
you were talking community kitchen and
Mhm.
classes and all
Right.
sorts of great stuff.
Mhm.
And there's a group behind you,
Is what?
a
Yes.
group of people
Yes.
behind you to do this.
Yes.
Okay.
We're already in the, we've gone and filed for our 501c3. We're already investigating grants, which, I can't go and put in yet because I don't want to have to explain if I have to give them back, so,
Right.
it's that type of situation. We're ready, willing and able to fix that building, same situation.
All right, so we're gonna read the deed. We're gonna contact DEP, make sure that this is still doable.
Yep.
We're focusing on Ruggles Hill Road.
I thought it was 179.
179
Yeah.
Main Street in Gilbertville, we're focusing on for the RFP.
For the RFP.
Before we do an RFP on this, we have to figure out,
I'm gonna call
What direction?
DEP and we'll
Yeah.
follow that down, we'll read the deed and we come up with an RFP for the white building.
And I'll have it on your agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, agreeable?
And should we reach out to the Mixter Trust?
If you'd like,
Okay,
sure. You wanna do that?
sure,
I'll give you the contact.
There
okay.
you go.
And
Is-
just so that, just so you know, there's at least 2 RFPs that have already been written for that building.
I've seen them. Do you mind if I respond to what Mr. Cole said?
No,
Thanks. So you were talking about chapter 40B, which is the 10% that we're required to have for low-income housing. I actually don't know off the top of my head the percentage of what Hardwick has.
Less than 1%.
But that's it was stated that it was a federal law, it's actually a state law. And we actually, that would not be triggered by someone wanting to come in and put in condos. So I just wanted to make sure that was.
Condos, I don't know, isn't it triggered by apartments?
No, not at all.
The number of units?
No, and just because it was talked about historic district. So when I put together the one for the RFP for the Page building, I actually worked with Paula, who is very knowledgeable in the historic nature and the historic districts and all the facts and information that she gathered for me. So that I'm hoping that you'll help me with this one too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the historic nature of these buildings is covered by what I consider to be an expert.
well, great.
One thing, Mr. Chair, you did mention, we didn't put out an RFP on this property, and that's what happened with the Page. By us trying to sell that property,
Excuse me.
by us trying to sell that property is what triggered the actual reversal.
Right.
We haven't technically done anything to trigger that reversal.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah,
How do we
so-
trigger that?
Right, but that's why we just asked the Mixter Trust, we
Just
give it
approach
to
them and
you.
find out.
Yeah,
Good.
we'll just give it to you and then you do what you want to do
Yeah.
with that property.
All
Right.
So it saves us from doing an RFP, triggering it, and then them showing up saying, hey, we want it.
Right.
You know, that,
I think they have
Get ahead of
brought
it.
to it
Yeah.
anyway.
Just make it easy.
Right.
All right, I'm still gonna call DEP.
Yep,
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. Well,
It's a town well.
It is time.
Yeah, we don't want to give that away.
okay.
Okay. Might as well keep going. Cemetery Commission.
Which item? There's 3 of them.
And take them in order. Discussion and vote on Cemetery Commission revolving account.
So the cemetery commission has had a revolving account even before I went on the commission, which was probably 5 or 6 years ago. And in the revolving account, and I do have the certification from Ryan. It's this piece of paper right here.
Yep, it's in your packets.
Yep. And so under the cemetery commission, we can only withdraw $5,000 of any money that is in the revolving fund. Today, that would be this piece of paper, and it was from the town accountant. Today we have $11,767.36 in the revolving fund, but in this 26 fiscal year, we can only spend $5,000 of that $11,700. So we are asking the selectmen to, and the finance committee, to vote that we can spend up to $11,000 in this fiscal year, both the finance committee and the selectmen, and let the town accountant know
Yes.
that we can spend up to $11,000 in this fiscal year. And at the annual town meeting, because that's the only time that you can make changes to the revolving fund, unless the finance committee and selectmen through the first fiscal year vote differently, that we could spend up to $11,000. When the town meeting comes, we will ask the town meeting, we will put it right in our revolving fund that we're gonna now spend up to $11,000. And just to let you know, in prior years, we have never raised $11,000 in a fiscal year. That $5,000 limit that we have had in the revolving fund has always been enough of money, because that's all that we've earned in that fiscal year. From July 1st to December 31st of '25, we earned $11,000. We have had a very, very busy first 6 months of this fiscal year, with deaths, burials, whether they be cremations or full burials, as well as monuments and ground markers, because for a monument or a ground marker, we require a footing that the people who own the lot have to pay for. So we have had a bonus year of a lot of burials and footings that we have had to put in. So we have a lot of things that we could do at the cemetery. That's why I'm asking if you could raise our revolving amount to $11,000.
Bill, you were
But
looking
this
at
wouldn't take effect until next fiscal year.
No, it would take effect once the accountant has the vote of the selectmen and the finance committee.
Okay, so you're looking to
And I
get
did
your
give you a
hands on the money
copy
right
also, right here, of our town bylaw, which allows the finance committee and selectmen during the fiscal year to raise the amount of money that a committee can take out of the revolving fund. It's right here.
now. Okay,
And just to clarify, Paula, you were asking for 11,500.
Right, I'm sorry,
Okay,
that
I
is
just-
what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm.
right now.
Well, they have, I mean,
Yeah. Well, all they need is our approval.
Right, and it's money that
And-
we've raised. I mean, it's
And the
not any
finance
town money or
committees.
anything.
So,
Well, FinCom will be here next week.
yeah, Monday.
could we do it at that meeting?
We could do it right here
We could
tonight.
do it right here, right
And
now.
just remind
And
them to do their
then,
vote
when do they,
on Monday,
next
the
meeting?
joint meeting.
Monday, that you guys have your joint meeting, I can talk to the chair prior to the meeting and make sure it gets on his agenda as well.
Okay,
Okay,
so do you want to do that, do our part tonight?
Sure.
Okay, and make a motion that we raise the, limit that the cemetery commission can take out of their revolving fund to $11,500.
I'll second the motion.
further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Your next item, ma'am, is a mowing contract.
So, the cemetery commission met and we voted to award the bid for the mowing and caretaking of the cemeteries and common to Laurie Crevier in the amount of $25,500. That is $1,000 more than what she bid last year. And the year before, that was in fiscal year '24, she went down. She was $500 less. Last year, she was the same amount, and this year she's bringing it up to $25,500. I did send the RFP out to some of the local landscapers in the area, and for the past 4 or 5 years, she's been the only one who bids. And I think that the reason that the local landscapers are interested in our bid is because it's not only the mowing of the cemeteries in the common, it's also picking up all of the branches and everything that falls throughout the whole year. If we want to have grass planted or anything done to the lawns that we're in charge of, they do that. The same thing with when we have a burial. We usually leave all of the flowers from a funeral there for a couple of weeks. They have to come back, pick up the flowers, and bring them to our graveyard, for lack of a better word. Also, if for some reason the people who do our burial digging for us are not available, they would have to come in and do the digging for the burials. And there's numerous other jobs. Anyways, the local landscapers, they just want to come in and mow and get the hang out. And that isn't what we require. We require a lot more. And they have to use their own equipment, their own gas. We don't provide them with anything whatsoever.
And Lori Crevier is going to do all of those things.
That's correct, right. Yeah, we've been very happy. Yep,
Okay.
and if we haven't been, if there has been a problem, we've just talked it over and they take care of it right away.
Good, okay, that's good.
All right. I'll make a motion to award the mowing of cemeteries and common area contract to Lori Crevier of Barry, Mass. for
$25,500.
$25,500.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have one more.
I have one more.
Yeah, we have an appointment of Frank Hansen.
Right, we've had a vacancy on the cemetery for almost a year and a half now. Benny Hansen was a member of our board. And over this period of time, we've asked different people to come on board. People were always hesitant because we kind of explained to them that we are a working board. We're the ones who sell the lots, we're the ones when there's a burial. We work with the funeral parlors and mark out where the digging has to take place. We take care of all of the money that comes in, depositing it into the various accounts that we have. We're just a working board. And
Who else is on it?
Jimmy Sweat. Jimmy is the chairman, and I'm the clerk. Jimmy's been on the board probably for about 8 years now, at least. Yeah, he's been on longer than I have.
Right.
Yeah, and we both still like it and everything. And really, what we're looking for is a working member who's gonna be available on a Monday or on a Saturday or Tuesday or something like that. You know, if somebody passes away, especially if it's a full burial, usually within 2 or 3 or 4 days, they want that burial to happen. So we're busy getting the records out, measuring to make sure that there's room for this person in this particular lot, marking it out, contacting the grave digger, making sure that the hole is dug for the burial, closing it up, planting, putting the lawn down, the loom down, grass seed. There's a lot of work, you know. So we had 4 people who were interested. And on the weekend before the cemetery commission met, one of the gentlemen who was interested called me to say that he was withdrawing his name. But Jimmy, via the telephone, talked to all 4 members and told them what he does, his part. I met with 2 of those 4 gentlemen, and they came upstairs to my office, and I went over with them what I do, so that they would have a good picture of what goes on that we do. So when Jimmy and I met, we just really felt that Frank Hansen was going to be the one who was going to have the time to put in to work with us, be available when we need somebody to be available. So that's why we voted unanimously to bring his name up before the Board of Selectmen.
Thank you. Frank's an outstanding guy.
Yeah,
I have no issues, but I make a motion to appoint Frank Hansen as the 3rd member of the Hardwick Cemetery Commission.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
While Paul is here, can I ask one question?
Absolutely.
I was just a little uncertain about what you're saying about the annual town meeting and the now increased $11,000 that the cemetery
I'll give you
commission
a
can
copy.
take out. Well, here's the question.
Oh, sure.
So the motion was to do that for this current fiscal year, and then also at the annual town meeting, you would,
This would
Then
confirm,
you would
the
do
annual
it to
town
do
meeting
that.
would confirm the vote of the Board of Selectmen and Finance Committee. Right. And it would leave our limit from the annual town meeting forward at $11,000, even if we didn't raise $11,000. But we would be able to spend up to $11,000 in our revolving fund.
you're not needing to spend that money in this fiscal year?
Yes.
You are,
We want-
this
that's-
year, before that?
Absolutely.
Is that-
Oh, yeah,
is that
because we
what
have
was
plenty
voted?
of things.
What do you intend to spend it on? I know this is late.
Well, we would like to take out some more stumps that whenever, it seems in the past, whenever a tree came down, whether the cemetery commissioners, not us, but prior cemetery commissioners, had a tree taken down, or if because of the weather, winds and everything, a tree fell, they would have the tree removed, the fallen tree removed, but they would leave the stumps there. And so that is something that we're gonna do, is take out some more stumps. Also some more trees. We would like to have some more trees taken down, chipped, and the stumps removed. Also, and I know you're not gonna know where I'm talking about, but anyways, in section 10, along the stone wall, we're hoping that we're gonna have enough of money to have somebody come in with the right equipment and dig all of that up and then plant grass and make it nice and level so that we would be able to sell that particular area for burial plots.
Okay, thank you.
And then we had, there's some of the areas of the grass area that really need some attention with the right kind of fertilizer and ant removal, whatever you do, and more grass planting.
Yeah.
There's plenty, nothing has ever been done at that cemetery, nothing,
Good.
So we're just trying to pick out the biggest things.
Sometimes a stone pillar gets knocked over in a tornado and has to be repaired.
Right, you know all about that,
That
yeah,
happens, so,
right, mhm,
okay, thank you.
yeah. Do you want me to leave you a copy of this? It's a better understanding? Okay, I'm gonna make a copy of it, and I'll leave it in the planning board box. Okay, good, thank you.
Well, last item of new business is to vote and sign the May 2nd, 2026 election warrant.
Mr. Chair, the recommendation of the town clerk is that polls should be open from 10 to 6 o'clock on May 2nd. We have 2 contested races, Board of Health and Select Board. So at your pleasure, if you vote, I do have the warrant available for you to sign tonight.
I make a motion that we sign the May 2nd election warrant.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Say something.
There you go.
Which is
Big
brown
meeting. You just second it, so I don't need to talk over
line.
you.
I like to get in it once in a while.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can't make a motion. Visitor comments? Okay. Approval of minutes.
Now the fun begins.
So the board is aware, I put them in order, not necessarily as of receipt, but just in order in terms of date, with regular session first and executive second, so just so you're aware.
The executive session minutes are pretty much all contracts, Zico, page building stuff, and we can deal with that because that's all complete. The workplace complaint is,
It's not typed up yet anyway.
town council suggested that we can't drag that out into the daylight yet. I will double check that and get it in print.
Okay, I have it on my computer, but I haven't finished typing the
Okay.
minutes out anyway.
Good.
That would be only you and me. Anyway.
All right, July 14th, 2025. I'm going to take them as printed. You wanna read
Yeah,
it?
just real quick on the executive session part of it. On some of the stuff, we should be meeting in an executive session to go over these meeting minutes and approve them and decide whether we're gonna make them public or not.
You want to do that?
Because if they're confidential, we haven't done a vote of this board to release them
Right.
or approve them.
Well, I checked today, and it's, some of the stuff we can't do that with, but the other is done and out in the open. So we can proceed, but
Okay.
we can also hold off if you want.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just bringing it to your attention, Mr. Chair, that's all, that, on some of these that are still confidential, we should have an executive session to discuss and approve the meeting minutes. Whether
Okay.
they remain confidential You know what I mean?
And the only ones that are confidential are, as far as I know, the ones about the workplace complaint. The rest of it is, I mean, the Zico stuff. That's up and out and done.
Okay.
So it's not really confidential. The other is to protect privacy, so.
So you can approve executive session meeting minutes in open session. If there was something that you wanted the executive session for, you just have to let me know. But the ones that are provided in tonight's meeting can be approved in open.
Yes?
Yes.
All right, well, you want to start us off?
Sure. July 14th, 2025, New Braintree Town Hall. I reviewed it. I have no issues with it. You, sir, or anyone?
I reviewed it as well. I have no issues with it. I'll make a motion to approve meeting minutes for July 14th, 2025.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
October 1st.
October 1st. Let's see. That's okay as well. I don't have any issues with that, sir.
Neither do I. I'll make a motion we approve October 1st, 2025 meeting minutes.
Second it?
October 1st?
October 1st.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
October 27th, 2025?
So this is, I do have issue with this. Doesn't include the executive session, the roll call vote, any record of us going into executive session in the record.
It also has numerous misspellings
Right,
and
so we should probably table it and make the corrections and,
I'll agree to that.
Okay.
so we'll table October 27th. December 16th. Excuse me 1 second, I just found it. That one, we just have to amend because that was in New Braintree.
Yeah,
Jeff, you were not at that meeting.
you are correct.
Right. So you were listed and you actually did a motion in that meeting. So I recommend we amend, strike Jeff as absent, and I believe I made the motion, you second the motion.
Mr. Boone.
So if we make the amendment, we approve it.
Okay.
That one was completely me, and that's my fault.
Okay.
So I move that, no, I can't. You know,
So, okay, I move that we approve December 16th, 2025 meeting minutes as amended.
Second.
I can't do
Right,
anything with this
You
one.
abstained.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Okay.
That one was on me.
Okay, so January 28th, 2026, no similar thing. We should table this because there's no executive session, roll call vote, attendance,
Misspellings and
grammar,
so
and
on
all
and
that
so
stuff.
forth, yeah.
So what are we gonna do with these? We're gonna put them into a executive session meeting and go over whatever we can digest.
No, I'm just saying, in the meeting minute record itself,
Right.
didn't list the roll call vote to go into executive session. It's not the executive session, it's the public record.
Right, so we just have to add that item.
Yes, the roll call.
And then
vote.
we have numerous, I was noticing,
Like
I
spelling.
I
and
looked
stuff.
at both these last two tabled meeting minutes, and there are numerous misspellings, grammatical errors.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to have the opportunity to go through and redline them, as I'm sure Bill does, and
Okay.
so we table it to the next meeting, make the
Okay.
changes and approve it.
January 28th?
Yes.
Okay, February 18th.
18th.
26. I went through it.
this one I did not get.
There's spelling errors in this one too.
Yeah, it's just,
There are,
and
Yeah.
and also, I mean, yeah, like Jeffrey Schmidt,
Yep.
Jeffrey Smith, stuff like that.
Schlossstein is also,
Yeah, that's hacked pretty good.
All right. We should table it.
All right, table, make changes and then approve it. And we probably just have to add a couple, like, if we want I don't know how detailed we want to be, but who made the motion and a vote. like-
That's all we really need,
Right,
and what the motion was.
yeah, we're just gonna add that in here and there on February 18th, 2026.
Yes.
So we'll table that. March 4th, I'm okay with, I have no issues, unless somebody else does.
All right.
Sorry.
I have no issues with it as well. I'll move to approve the meeting minutes for March 4th, 2026.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
March 9th, reviewed it, don't have any issues.
Same here. I'll move to approve meeting minutes for March 9th, 2026.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So after tonight, I will go and I'll update the list to see where we are, and I'll send the board an updated if what's still outstanding.
Okay.
Okay.
I was waiting to see what was approved tonight before I went ahead and did that.
Yeah, that's good.
And we're not doing the executive session minutes, or are we?
You can.
You can if you're comfortable with them.
I'm comfortable with them. I typed them up.
Well, would you like to make a motion?
I'm gonna let Bill look at it first. I wanna presume he's got no issues with them. Some of them are short and sweet.
Well, like June 9th, I recused myself, so you guys.
Yeah,
can
oh, yeah.
approve it.
All right.
So that's between you two.
I'll make a motion to approve the executive session meeting minutes for June 9th, 2025.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
And you're abstaining?
Yes.
Now, October 14th.
Yep, I don't have any issues with it.
We'll move to approve the executive session meeting minutes for October 14th, 2025.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
October 27th, 2025. Anything, Bill?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was, so it says, I made the thing that I recommended that the contract was invalid. Well, we need just to amend and add because there was no public vote made by the select board. That was my statement.
Sound right?
All right, no public vote.
Yeah. So
Where is that?
it says William Tinker states the contract is invalid and the select board did not vote to sign the contract. Well, right, we did not do a public vote,
Did not have
or have a public vote.
a public
So-
vote.
I make that
I
amendment
can make that amendment before I post them.
and
I'm just writing it down here.
I'll make a motion to approve October 27th executive session
As amended.
as amended.
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. November 10th.
November 10th, 2025.
And I just make the same amendment. My statement was, there was no public vote by the board. That's all.
Okay,
Just amended,
it's
no
the same
public vote.
thing, yeah, because I just copied it right
Yeah.
over, it's the same thing.
So I'll make a motion to approve November 10th, 2025 with that amendment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're cruising.
Yeah, we are.
This is not as painful as I thought it would be. Maybe,
Don't jinx
don't,
it.
don't.
Yeah.
November 24th.
November 24th, 2025. Let's see, Bill Tinker was not at this one.
Right, I was not at this, and I don't see, I don't know if the public one, but I recused myself.
You recused yourself?
Yes,
But our Zoom meeting was canceled anyway.
and there's also another executive session for that same date, November 2024.
Yes,
Did
there
one at
is.
5 o'clock.
I have that on my computer at home.
Okay.
It's not part of what
Okay.
I've submitted yet,
Okay,
because that is the personnel issue.
okay.
But for the other, the 24th is,
Yeah, this is the one at 6:05 or 6 o'clock was when it was supposed to start. So
is
I'll
just
make
you
a
and me.
motion to approve the November 2024 meeting minute, executive session meeting minutes for the 6 o'clock executive session.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
That's it.
That was whirlwind.
IT report.
Would you like to do your report?
I'd love to. Thank you. So I've been meeting with Mark Korzick from the Finance Committee on the FY27 budget, really getting hoping to get the Finance Committee a really good grasp on where we are with our debt and where we were and how we got here and what we're doing now. And I think it's been really helpful, especially going into those joint meetings. So I have another meeting with him tomorrow. We had 2 public records appeals and 1 new public records request. Met with the highway superintendent and Harry Comerford today on the excess gravel near Roach Field. So for your next meeting, there's going to be an item for the board to declare that gravel surplus, so we can start the next process, which is getting money for our excess gravel. So look for that on your next agenda. Had a call with Central Mass Regional Planning Commission and Chairman Valheim on the MVP grant project for the town of Hardwick. So we got 2 bids back for the project, and right now we are in the process of doing the evaluation for which one we're going to go with. Met with the police chief, the fire chief, and fire chief from New Braintree regarding the regionalization possibility with the fire departments between the 2 communities. So everything will be prepared for your next joint meeting, which is next Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes. Met with Barry on the Senior Center Regional Agreement, and shocker, I actually invited Selectman Tinker because I really wanted a member from the board present, because I feel like every time I walk into a meeting with Barry, it gets very contentious around money. So I really wanted a member of the select board there, because that's ultimately going to come up before the board. So it just made sense to have everyone be informed that way. We're advertising for a wastewater treatment plant operator, a highway equipment operator, and a van driver. We had one of our highway employees quit the other day, so we are not just understaffed, we are understaffed now twice. We held our annual mandatory department head training. This year's training was on prioritizing and managing a multi-generational workplace. We had our insurance company, Maya, come in and do the training. All the department heads were there, and assistant department heads. It was a really good turnout, and I think for the most part everyone really enjoyed it. I attended the Massachusetts Municipal Managers Association Conference on risk management for town managers, administrators, and navigating personnel problems and legal landmines. Just a fun little tidbit. I've been elected for the 4th year in a row to the Massachusetts Education and Government Association. We specialize in workers' comp for municipalities and school districts. So I've been elected for the 4th time. I attended a Quabbin watershed meeting. For recognition, I want to recognize 3 of our firefighters that graduated the Fire Academy. Firefighter Christian Lowell, firefighter Kevin Thompson, and Joel Eck. And firefighter Thompson also received the Outstanding Student Award.
Thanks.
Yeah. He's a friend of my son's.
Good job.
Important dates. Representative Berthium and Senator Duran are holding their April office hours here on April 7th from 10 to 11. And our annual town election is May 2nd. So that's what I have tonight.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear anything in the town administrator's report regarding the town accountant passing or not passing the test that she was taking that was talked about in the last meeting?
She doesn't know. I don't know. I haven't seen her. I was at my conference last week as
Just
I
was hoping for an
reported.
update. That's all.
Thank you. Round table?
I have nothing at the moment.
Round table?
For the most part this week, I'm not gonna really mention anything. I'll mention it at the next meeting, once I have some answers on some stuff. That's all.
Okay, the grant up at the old town hall is hurting. We couldn't get any bids. We didn't get any interest. We did a walkthrough the first time. Not very many people showed. Second time, we had 5 or 6 contractors running around. And this last week, we had another walkthrough, and nobody showed at all. So PVPC is breaking it up and trying to contact people who asked for plans, but it's not looking too wonderful. So,
Do you have a feel for why it's?
I don't.
I'm not really familiar with the scope of work or what you're trying to do up there. Okay.
Gutters, originally rebuilding windows, storm windows, gutters. The front, where the stone, the portico, is some years ago was dug out for an inspection by some architectural, historical something. And they took out clay and they replaced it with sand. So now at that portico, those stones that are laid there, the water just goes right in, goes down into the cellar. So the scope didn't include that. It included patching the stones at the surface level with, cement.
Yep.
So that's pretty much it. Paint the portico, the cupola.
Okay, so my thinking, and it's just an idea or a thought, is can we use some of this grant money and offer employees in this town to, say, do the gutters and pay them time and a half, like do a Friday, do a Saturday. We bring in a gutter guy and make the gutter right on site and they hang it with a box truck.
It's an excellent idea. I don't know, I'll find out.
Okay. And then, other areas like, you mentioned the sand, like dig out the sand, fill it with clay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that would be, well, that's not,
pay all these people time and a half, basically we'd be asking Marty and his guys if that was something they want to do, but and we could put it out to the water guys as well.
Right.
Any employee that's willing to do some
well, there are
labor.
tradesmen in town,
Right.
and they're largely busy, but the grant expires in August, so.
Right, so the more we can do, it's just a suggestion.
No, I'll check with the controllers.
Okay.
Anybody else?
If I may, Mr. Chair, I just want to learn what kind of went wrong in this process so we can maybe avoid it next time. Would it be fair to say that the original scope of work that was bid with PVPC was
Too large.
too expensive? I
Yes.
mean, we were not really going to get something that came in at $95,000 or less, and then we're unable, and PVPC is unable to, at that time, adjust it and say, well, how about you just do half of the work for half of the money that you bid?
Well, that was tried, they chopped it
And
up.
it can't, and that doesn't work, right? So you can't
Well,
parcel it up, or,
yeah, they broke it down, and it would have been possible this last time to do pieces of it, but not, so. And I wasn't involved in the original scope of work, or the clay sand thing would have got it fixed, because that's probably the easiest single part. But, yep, so hoping for a fix, and I'll check that out. Try to get some room for local tradesmen.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Chairman?
Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is 7:40.